Hello, this is Ernest Burley Jr., your certified financial planner, your chartered financial consultant, your NFLPA registered player financial advisor, your author of 2 books on Money Management, Easy as 1, 2, 3, and Money Management from Grade School to Grad School. Both of these books are being used by individuals and organizations in various states to teach money management principles and financial planning principles to children, youth, and adults. As a matter of fact, I have a couple of Zoom meetings coming up to teach to a local church, and also, well, 2 local churches. So one, like I think in a week or so, and one like a few days after that, to speak to a congregation, and also to speak to a congregation of adults, and also another one for a children's type meeting. So, hey, call Amazon, buy the books, buy them out, make them contact my publisher and say, hey, we need more books. We need more books. It's mad rush on these books. So they're at Amazon. I help you sell them out and, teach these financial principles to your church members, your coworkers, or what have you, or whomever. And we can do a Zoom just like I do with all these other groups if you want to. So that's great. Okay. Also, I'm an investment advisor representative. So I hold the Series 6, 63, and 7 for investing for clients. I'm a licensed insurance agent with over 25 years experience in the industry. Well, actually over 30. Oh man, I'm dating myself. Over 30 years experience in the industry and over 25 years in business, actually, in the financial planning and insurance arena. Have clients all over the country, from the north to the south, east to the west, right? So state lines don't restrict Burley Insurance and Financial Services for helping people in that arena, whether it be financial services or insurance. So wherever you are, give us a call. We can help you out, okay? Now, I specialize in wealth management, so also investing like IRAs, 401k plans, portfolio management, things of that nature, asset protection, asset growth. So asset protection, protecting what you've accumulated, and asset growth, strategically growing what you have thus far. Also financial planning, whether it be basic financial planning or comprehensive financial plans. Life insurance, all different types of insurance, life insurance, long-term care insurance, disability insurance, auto, home, boat, business, commercial, contractor, professional liability, condo, renters, the whole nine. So we have all different types of insurance products here for clients, in addition to financial services, and also athlete management. So on the NFL side, I'm an NFLPA registered player financial advisor. On the NBA side, I'm an NBPA certified player agent. So I can get players connected to teams and get them looks to see if they can, get onto an NBA team. You got to be really good though, okay? And I'm also FIBA licensed, so I can get people opportunities overseas also, okay? So the purpose of this podcast is to educate, to enlighten, to empower you with clear, objective, unbiased information, so you can have some great information or resources at your fingertips to make good decisions for yourself and for your family. Okay, that's what this is all about. Or your church members, or your co-workers, your cohorts, your relatives, your friends, or whomever you decide to share this information with. It's all about getting you good information in hand so you can make some good decisions. Okay. All right. So today's podcast is going to be pretty short. Okay. Today's podcast is titled AI for Landlords. Okay. Real estate investors, beware, or I should say be aware. Let's put it that way. Okay. So AI, I'll tell you what that is in just a minute. So AI for landlords. All landlords should look to protect their property, of course. That's like a no-brainer, and protect themselves. Most people automatically think about insurance on the property, right? So if you own property, you want to insure the property. So if a windstorm happens, or a fire happens, or a tree falls into it, you're going to have something to protect the physical structure itself. But you want liability coverage too. So the physical part is a no-brainer. You want to protect your interest or insure your interest. And if there's a mortgage on the property, they're going to make you carry insurance on it anyway. And all those property policies have liability coverage built into them, as a matter of fact. I also recommend an umbrella policy. I talked about that in a previous podcast. So please pull that podcast talking about liability umbrella policies. They give you an extra $1 million or more over and above your underlying policy limits for your auto, your home, your investment properties, your boat, a whole lot of other things that have liability attached to them. So I highly recommend that for real estate investors also, right? So that liability umbrella policy will give you more coverage. So let's talk about AI for landlords. Now, not by AI, I don't mean artificial intelligence. I'm talking about real intelligence here. By AI, I mean additional insured. So if you're a landlord, you own property, you rent property to people who live in your property, you should have additional insured as on the forefront of your mind. AI for landlords. So additional insured or AI, basically that's a rider or an endorsement onto a renter's policy, like a renter's policy, to give you liability protection under their policy, right? So your renter automatically, if you're renting to someone, that should be part of your rental agreement that they have to have renter's insurance, right? So when they get that renter's policy, just let them know, and I'm sure most landlords don't do this. That's why I'm doing this podcast, right? Let them know they need to add an endorsement onto their renter's policy called the additional insured endorsement, AI. And it doesn't cost them anything. Those things are normally free. But what it does for the landlord, the property owner, the real estate investor, is it gives that person liability coverage under the renter's policy if something unfortunate happens. Say, for instance, the renter has a dog in there and the dog mauls somebody, or someone slips and falls in the apartment complex or the rental property because the renter left something on the floor, slippery, or something else that the renter was responsible for. So if you get dragged into that lawsuit because they're renting your property, you own the property, a lot of times they're going to drag you in too. You have coverage under their policy automatically for something arising out of their action. So you definitely want it for that reason. That's one reason you want that. And also I recommend you encourage your renters to get $500,000 of liability coverage instead of the basic limit that comes in those renters policies, which is like $100,000. Hey, that's better than nothing, but encourage them to get $500,000, which is only a couple bucks more per month. It's not that much, but hey, not required, but encouraged. If they get the basic policy, hey, that's better than nothing, and then add you on as an additional insured. Now, that's the first thing it does for the landlord. The second thing it does for the landlord is it gives you notice on the premium that happens to not be paid. So if say the renter doesn't pay their premium and the policy is about to cancel, you get a notification of that in the mail. And you can say, hey, wait a minute, whoa. You need to pay your renter's policy. You need to get a renter's policy, make sure it's enforced at all times. So you receive notice as an additional insured about whether that policy is going to be canceled or non-renewed or what have you for some reason or another. So that's another way to protect your interest because, hey, if they say they got a renter's policy and they just give you a declarations page that day that they rent the property and the policy cancels or lapses the next month because they didn't pay the premium, that didn't do you any good. So if something happens later on that year, you're not protected. So by having that AI on the renter's policy, you know what's going on with the policy. You can kind of know that it's going to be enforced. If it's not, they're going to send you notification as the additional insured on the policy. So those are the two big key reasons why you want to have AI on your mind, additional insured, not artificial intelligence, real intelligence for landlords, for property owners, real estate investors who have property that they're renting to other people. Those are two key reasons why you want to have AI on your mind, okay? And that's it, okay? I want you to be wise, be smart, use AI when you're a landlord, protect your property, protect yourself, okay? That is it for today's podcast, short and sweet, okay? So as always, I'm gonna give you a recap. So the recap is you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself with that liability, additional liability exposure by owning more property when you're renting it to someone else. That additional insured endorsement gives you more liability coverage, gives you protection. So if something crazy happens there, it's the renter's fault, you have protection under their policy. That's the recap on it. And the takeaway is, hey, you can never have too much liability protection. You want to be reasonable with it. So the AI plus, I recommend the umbrella policy will give you good insulated protection against, things that do happen. Things happen all the time. So it's better to have those little small expenses as opposed to having some big expense possibly later that gets into your pocket, okay? Now, I want to thank you guys for listening as you do every week. I really appreciate it. Excuse me. I ask that you forward this podcast to others, ask them to do the same, and so on, and so on, and so on, to your friends, your family members, your church members, your relatives, your coworkers, your your employers, everyone. So share it with them and ask them to share it with their circles also all across the country. I really appreciate it. And I see like every week, I see more subscribers. So that's the next thing I want to talk about. I ask that you go to my YouTube channel, Ernest Burley Jr. It's just under my name, and subscribe and ask all of your friends, family members, church members, coworkers, or whomever to go to this guy's YouTube channel, subscribe, and then also check out the various podcasts that are on there. As I talk about a wide array of things, from tax breaks to buying versus leasing a car, whether you should pay your mortgage off early or not, how to increase your credit score, infinite banking, real estate, whether it's real estate or real mistake. So there are a whole lot of different topics there. And I have like 1-minute snippets on there too that are really quick hits in case you don't want to sit through a 10, 15-minute podcast. So check it out. Ask your friends and family members to check it out, subscribe, and go through the channel. It's just under my name, Ernest Burley Jr. If you want to connect with me, very easy to do. My name, Ernest Burley Jr. So you could either email me. So that's Ernest Burley Jr. would be my website, right? So ernestburleyjr.com or ernestburley.com. You can email me from there. Go check out the various services and what have you we have on the website. And also you can email me directly. It's just my first name at my full name.com. So ernest@ernestburleyjr.com. That's ERNEST at ERNESTBURLEYJR.com. Or you can call my firm, 301-262-2600. Again, that's 301-262-2600. And we'd be happy to speak with you, connect with you, and just shoot the breeze. I mean, I'm just here to help. That's all. I'm just here to help. Okay. So I appreciate you. I ask that you go to my YouTube channel, that you subscribe. If you want to connect or reach out to me, whatever form you want to do it, website, email, phone, we have it all available for you. Okay. All right. So since I mentioned myself being a financial planner and some financial things and investment advisor and all that kind of good stuff, I do have to, investment advisor representative, I do have to say my disclosure. So here we go. Burley Insurance and Financial Services, Inc., 13621 Annapolis Road in Bowie, Maryland, 20720. We're in Bowie, Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. But we have clients all over the country, like I said before. So from California to New York to Georgia to Florida to everywhere, Nevada, Ohio, Pennsylvania. So we're all over the country, but my firm is located in Bowie, Maryland. All right, securities and investment advisory services offered through Next Financial Group, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Burley Insurance and Financial Services, Inc. is not an affiliate of Next Financial Group, Inc. This material is not intended as an offer or solicitation for the purchase or sale of any security or other financial instrument. Past performance does not guarantee future performance. All the views expressed are those of Ernest Burley Jr., myself, and Burley Insurance and Financial Services, Inc., and not those of Next Financial Group, Inc. Next Financial Group, Inc. does not provide tax advice. And that's it for today's podcast, okay? AI for landlords, real estate investors, beware or be aware. Protect yourself, protect your property. Hey, until next time, y'all take care. Y'all be safe out there, okay?